Welcome to the Dirty Penguin Presents Movies! Welcome to the Dirty Penguin Presents Movies! We are on Season 3, Episode 1 of the Dirty Penguin Presents Movies.
Yeah.
I'm Kevin Waits. I'm joined, as always, by my faithful penguin co-hosts here in the Igloo, Doug, Angie, Jesse, and Andy. How's it going, guys?
Oh,
Bueno.
good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen y'all in a while.
It's
It's good
I
to
know,
see
it's a
you,
long time no
Kevin.
see.
It's been a
Nice
while.
to get back in the igloo.
I know. We've made a few changes.
Yeah.
I know our listeners can't see, but we've added the bespoke disco ball into the layer, the penguin layer.
Does a whole lot for the ambiance.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It's very hard to do a podcast with strobe light continually just blaring at our faces.
But we do it.
I know. We
Yeah.
do
For
it
you.
for the listener. That's what we do. We are coming back to you live, Live, from the Igloo for Season 3 Movies We Love. Andy, what are your thoughts on this topic /
So I
genre?
think most people who like movies probably have a list of favorite films. I think all of us, pretty much every penguin should have a list of favorite films. I mean, that's how we kind of got here.
I would hope they have it now.
Yeah, because they're going to need one. They're going to need one rather
You're gonna need it pretty soon, Doug.
For the longest time, I always said the best movie ever made was Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. That movie did not make my list. This is our third season, and this is the first time where the first movie that popped into my head did not go on my list
Oh,
Wow.
because and I really think it's because of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
They say you should trust your instincts.
Sometimes they do, and I don't.
Yeah,
I
your
have
gut
that. I have.
instinct is
I have issues.
Sometimes it's indigestion, though.
But like sometimes a movie is so bad it hurts the rest of the movies in that series. Like I loved Matrix. Matrix was a great film, but then Matrix 2 came out, and I was like, I guess I'll wait for Matrix 3. And then I saw Matrix 3, and I was like, you know what? I don't even care to watch Matrix.
I love Matrix 2.
Matrix 3 was the bad one to me.
It was so bad.
Oh, it's so bad I can't watch the first one.
I really feel that Matrix 1 stands alone and
Yes,
was
it
a
should have been.
spectacular
That-
movie, and they should have just left
Yeah.
it.
That
When I found
series starts to go downhill at the very end of the first one. If you remember the very end of the first Matrix, he's on the phone. He says,
Yeah.
remember? And then he gets out and he flies away. That ruined the ending for me. I didn't like that.
I didn't like finding out in 2 and 3 that humanity became a rave society. Anyway,
That's what I loved.
anyway,
I was hoping
that was
I'd wake up.
That was pretty dope, yo.
But I'll get back into my list. So what I started looking for were movies that I enjoyed that had a high rate of repeatability. These are movies that when I'm flipping through the channels, if one of them pops up,
Right. Absolutely.
I stop flipping the channels and I just sit and stare at it, and I enjoy it, and it just brings me joy.
No matter what channel it's on, cable or whatever, like HBO cable or commercial cable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just flip it and you're like, oh, hey, I feel lucky that it's on, right?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I just rolled the dice and it came up in my favor.
Or you say something like, well, there goes the next hour, because you're going to sit there and watch it.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Commercials and all.
Now from Indiana Jones, it got dethroned with me with Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Oh, that's interesting.
Really? Okay.
But what I found was that King Kong didn't have enough repeatability for me.
That's the one with Jack Black, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The film, like the first year of it.
Repeatability, like
But
the
it just
watchability
didn't-
over
right,
and over again.
Right.
Gotcha.
So today, if King Kong is on, I will go straight. I don't necessarily stop and watch it. So the movies so I started making a list of movies that I always stop and watch, and these are some. I'm going to name a few of the films that didn't make it to my list just because I think
That's a good idea.
they're tight runners up that I would recommend to anyone, and it's just because of a certain mood, I guess, when I finally put together my 5. But I did toss out The Fifth Element. I must always watch it. I enjoy it. I think it's a great film. L.A.
Great movie.
Confidential.
I love that movie.
It's a really good one. Here's one, and I this one might be a bit of a guilty pleasure, which we kind of discussed possibly doing a season on, but Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise sci-fi movie.
I have heard great things
I
about it,
just-
and I've
so
never
good.
seen it.
I just enjoy
Are they coming
it
out with a
so
sequel to that?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about
They
doing
are.
it.
I enjoy it so much every time I watch it that if it's on, my channel stops changing. It really could have made
If you
that.
hear the description, you're almost just like, but you see it and it's so well executed and it's so well done and the acting
You like
is
this
so
one,
good.
Angie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Edge of Tomorrow. I
Well, because it's
really
it's got
enjoyed
that
it.
whole open your eyes.
No,
It repeats and
it's got aliens.
okay.
Aliens explain everything.
okay.
If Tom Cruise was an alien.
I'm on board.
I'm on board.
And it has American
is.
Treasure Emily Blunt in it.
I love Emily Blunt.
American Treasure.
American Treasure, Emily
She
Blunt.
is an American treasure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
That one will explode with our listeners.
yeah. Okay. Here's one that probably source code. I enjoyed
Jake
source.
Gyllenhaal, right?
I just
Oh, I
I-
Never even heard of
It's
it.
was
such
thinking
a
of The
strange-
Net
I've heard good
with
things about it.
Sandra Bullock.
It's such like I never even
Oh, the
heard.
net.
I never heard of source
That
code.
movie was
I just discovered it just flipping through the channels, and now
Good
every
name.
time it's on, I stop and watch it. And it's got that the actress in it that I've seen her pop up twice now. She was in Up in the Air. She's the romantic interest in Up in
Yes.
the Air,
Oh,
And then-
I can't- we cannot remember
and then she's in
this lady's
in the movie The Commuter. Liam Neeson. It's a horrible movie, but anyway,
Commuter.
regardless,
Sounds boring.
it was. It's supposed to be an action.
And
flick.
another morning, I get on the bus.
Vera Farmiga?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, she's fantastic. Princess Bride, and I think
Oh.
the only reason
love.
Now,
Love
Princess
It didn't make my
Bride
list,
did
but it
not.
was on my.
It did not make
Yeah.
my list mainly because
Sounds like y'all didn't love it then.
I think it got overpopular. Its overpopularity makes me reject it.
No, so I love that, man. It's on my alternates list. It didn't make my top 5, but that movie, I remember the first time I saw that movie. It wasn't in the theaters. It was over at some family friend's house. I don't know why I was over there during the day in the middle of the week. Me and my mom and Princess Bride. I was like, no, I don't want to watch that. Are you kidding me? No. And I remember just loving every minute of it. and using an umbrella to do the sword fight. I dressed
Yeah.
up as the Dread Pirate Roberts that you're
It is
following.
so. It's an awesome film, and I really shouldn't diss it just because of its overpopularity. It is. Again, I wrote it down. It made my list. Unforgiven.
Yes, love it.
I love that film. It's really one of the early Clint Eastwood's, but it's great Western, great story.
Wait, not an early.
It's a
not
later,
an early
It's a later.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Maybe in his
what I meant-
directorial. You mean?
his directorial
Yeah.
debuts?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
in one of his. It's like his. Well, he did start directing his own spaghetti westerns before that, but it's
Oh,
like the first big blockbuster.
And he won.
Right. No,
Best
this is
Picture.
91 we're talking
Yeah.
about. This is
Oh, that one
They
won
won
Best
Best
Picture.
Picture.
Oh,
Annie
Yes.
Great movie.
Hall.
Annie Hall.
I love.
I put Annie
Never
Hall.
seen it.
I'm a.
Is that a Woody Allen movie?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it just
know.
doesn't
I
hold its-
agree with you,
eh.
Angie. But it is.
Annie Hall's so good.
It is a classic. It's good. It's
And it-
really
and
good.
it ends real like The Last American Virgin.
Well, there you go.
And then I did throw two. I actually wrote Star Wars: A New Hope, but I would probably have to go Rogue One if I was going to put a Star Wars movie on my list. But I didn't. I didn't put a Star Wars movie on. My list.
Yeah, I have A New Hope is on my alternates list. Some of the ones that made mine, I would mirror yours pretty closely, Andy.
Mhm.
I know we were talking before this, and that some of mine on my list actually, you were like, oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
So some of the ones that made my alternate list were things like A New Hope, because I love the story of Star Wars, and
Yeah.
a Star Wars movie made my top 5. But things like Fight Club, Fight
Oh, I
Club.
love Fight Club.
I know
Such a great film.
there's some people that say that it hasn't aged well, and I haven't seen it probably
That's me.
in
I
3 or
don't
4 years.
age well.
But I like the idea of it.
I'm an Edward Norton fan.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. The movie's all right. Angie hated it.
Oh, it's
You
so
hated
good.
Fight
Shocker.
Club?
Yeah.
Hated. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, watch this
Oh.
movie," and then she's like, 40 minutes in the movie. Is this almost over?
It's one of the
For
reasons.
the next
Oh, wow.
every 10 minutes.
Fight
this
Club
almost
is one of the
over?
reasons I do not like The Sixth Sense. They came out opposite each other at the same time, and everyone's talking about how surprising, what a shocker ending Sixth Sense is.
When this
And
one
I'm
was
like,
better.
What? Yeah,
Big
yeah.
time.
That was my. Yeah.
Yeah. So that the Fight Club is on there and Up in the Air. I've mentioned it on this podcast before. Up in
Andy,
the Air.
you just watched it.
I just recently watched it. Yeah,
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I didn't catch Las Vegas in it, but
It's quick. It's quick. They're at the Luxor.
it was on somebody's Vegas list.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah.
They're at the Luxor.
Yeah.
They're in Vegas.
Yeah, no, I really I enjoyed it. It did just sort of end for me though. Like the end of the movie, there's no
He ends up in the same spot.
I
That's the whole
didn't- I
thing.
didn't
He
really
ends
get a
right
lot
back
of,
up in the same spot.
I didn't feel a lot of satisfaction at the end.
I think that's what you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get any satisfaction. He's back in the same spot.
Hmm.
He gets a
Makes me
taste
not
of,
wanna see
of
it.
happiness. Right? And then,
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Temple of Doom is a great movie for me. That almost Raiders of the Lost Ark made my list. And it was a toss up between Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Temple
I
of
would have
Doom is
gone.
the
I
heart
would have
rip
gone.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last Crusade before Temple of Doom.
I like the dark, I like the dark prequely grittiness of that version, of that
Sure.
that one.
Yeah.
Great Outdoors for comedies. Great Outdoors.
Wait, wait. Whoa. Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
John Candy.
John Candy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
And the bear.
And the bear.
With-
I could have so easily put planes, trains, and automobiles on my
I
list.
love
Oh my
that.
god, you just
Absolutely.
reminded me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway,
but when I got to really thinking about it, I just started listing movies that I love. Fantasia to me is that's one of the things that takes me back to being a kid.
That's like the American Idol Fantasia who won.
Fantasia
And
Barros,
it's about her
yes.
like
yes,
biography.
yes, from I think the
Season
Lifetime producers.
Oh.
No, the Disney musical because that's like the introduction to
so.
music that I got.
See, maybe that's why I'm not such a musophile because we watched that as kids, and I'm just like,
I didn't.
is that
get
it? I didn't
get it.
I didn't get it. It was trippy. I didn't like it.
From the moment
I
of
could
the
I think
not-
these are
the
reasons why
string,
Kevin likes it.
You know, the
Yeah, the
string,
string just doing the thing.
that,
Yeah.
and then it just builds upon it.
Mhm.
You start with the simplest note, simple,
Yeah.
and it
Mhm.
resonates. That blew my mind. It was great. And then we come into things like with Great Outdoors comes the comedies like Clue and The Birdcage, and I think those were the only comedies
Okay.
that weren't in my top 5. But things like that just drive me to, like Andy said, you'll stop and you'll watch.
Yeah.
You'll stop and you'll watch, regardless if there's going to be commercials. If there's something else on, this will trump something else on. And all of these movies on my list, I have 20 movies on this list, and I had to narrow it down to the top 5. And it was hard.
I would also say that part of my list and my choice is if I find out that you haven't seen one of these movies on my list, I will start begging you to see it. Like I want to share that with you. I want
Yeah.
you to have that connection with me. And then if you saw it and didn't like it, I'd be like, you
Yeah, well,
suck.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know if
We're
anybody else.
done.
I don't know if anybody else found this, but after I did my big 20 movie list,
Yeah.
I kept going back. I was like, oh, I could add this movie. I could add this
Mhm.
movie. I could. This Doctor Strangelove came up,
Ah.
and I was like,
Oh man,
that needs to go on here. I was like,
that could
"Ugh."
I love
easily
that
be
movie.
on my alternate
Yeah.
list. Yeah.
But I knew that one wouldn't make my top 5.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of Kubrick that could probably be on my alternates list.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. What about you? I mean, what about?
What do you, any movies that didn't make your list that you it hurt for you
Yeah.
not to put on your list?
Just before we started recording, Parenthood came to
Yeah.
my head. Steve Martin.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cowboy Gill.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
I'm changing
And-
movies as we talk.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
no.
We're all kind of readjusting our list until we have to at the last second. Here's my sort of don't have to think about it too much, just enjoy it. Speed. With
Speed.
Keanu Reeves.
But Speed
It's a good movie.
didn't make
It is
your
a
list.
It didn't
no.
make my list, no.
No.
And then the last one was I wanted to force, especially the boys here would be fun. Just would be my own little joke here. It would have been funny to force y'all to watch this, but Bridges in Madison County,
Never seen it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
it's-
never seen it either.
It's Clint Eastwood and
he directed it.
and
Meryl Streep.
right?
He's a photographer, I believe.
Yeah,
He
yes,
takes
and
pictures
he
of bridges
Yeah, in Madison County.
in Madison County. Spoiler alert.
So much more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There's some
no,
other
no,
stuff
those
that
didn't.
happens. Some rain
Some
and a truck.
cheating on her husband.
Oh, here's
that type
here's
of
one that
stuff.
didn't make that should have made the Time Traveler's Wife. I could have put that on my list. I love that movie so much.
Not what I would expect from Andy.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. But I kind
Was it
everything
fabulous?
is
We-
screeching.
if we could have, if this would have been a live show, we would have needed like a record scratch.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What?
I do have to agree with Kevin on Clue.
Oh yes. Oh, good shot, Green. Love Clue.
Andy, what do you feel about Clue?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Never seen
There's
it.
some there's some parts of it that are kind of funny. Yeah,
I've never seen Clue.
I like all.
Oh,
I like the fact that when they released the movie and it went to the theaters,
3 times.
that you
You had to see it
3
at least
endings.
3
to
times.
see
so-
all the
Three
different
alternate
endings.
endings.
Yeah,
endings.
yeah, because it's like the game.
Why
Clue.
didn't that catch on? Why did that not catch on?
I know.
Come on.
I guess because people don't want to pay to see that movie.
Three
It's a
times.
Great, great
Yeah.
ensemble
'Cause-
cast.
Yeah.
I remember this. I remember my mom saw it, or either she was telling me about it or saw it at the time, way back when, and said that some people would go watch the movie, go talk to their friends.
That's not.
That's
how
not
it
what
is.
I.
And you know,
that's not
it's
what I saw.
it's a really
What a great conversation that
I
would be,
know,
but
right?
like, hey, so this guy did it. Wait,
No,
no,
they all did it.
they all did it. What movie did you see?
Have
That's
you ever
kinda
seen?
clever.
Have you ever? And I like this one better. But have you ever seen Murder by Death?
Yes, I love Murder
I
by
love
Death.
Murder by Death. I would go Murder by Death over
Peter
Clue.
Sellers.
Yeah.
I could, no, I could
Yeah.
see that. You know, Clue. Just
I
to
thought
me
about
again,
that one too as making the list, but I
Really? Huh.
because I love that movie.
Yeah,
but
it's
Tim Curry is the butler in this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
is
yeah.
ju- he
I like
makes
Tim
that movie
Curry
for me.
and almost everything he does. I've never. I can't-
Tim Curry
Mhm.
and Michael McKean.
well, they
Make
all.
that movie
This
for me.
is. It's an unbelievable cast.
Yeah. What else? What else did?
Any-
What
what
else
were some
didn't
of
make
your,
it?
What
Angie-
movies didn't make your list but should have or could
Um,
have? Almost.
Dirty Dancing and Grease
Love,
got the cut. I love them growing up. I'll still start singing the songs from Grease.
I like Dirty
Um,
Dancing.
Dirty Dancing didn't make the cut because now as an adult, I look back at the subject matter and I'm like, she's like 16 and he's like 20 something.
Yeah.
That's
I
gross.
have a
No,
bad
30
yeah.
something.
I have bad personal issues with Dirty Dancing.
With Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
But growing up, I loved that movie.
Yeah.
Grease is still I still enjoy
I
Grease.
watched
I
it
like
just
the
other day, to
music.
be honest with you.
Grease or Dirty Dancing?
Grease. Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
It just did. It was number 6 probably on my list. V for Vendetta, The Prestige. These are amazing movies. I picked movies that either had a lot of like sentimental, nostalgic
Yeah.
reasons behind me
that-
loving them, or like really blew my mind, or versus just The Green Mile, The Matrix, Mary Poppins.
Have you seen the new Mary Poppins? How's it hold
No.
up? I haven't seen it yet. It's out.
American Treasure, Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
The Departed. And
Great freaking movie.
That-
Man,
the-
oh
no,
man,
The
great
Departed
movie.
was okay. Here's the thing,
Kevin.
Doug had been wanting to see this movie in the theaters, and he kept trying to get me to go. And I was like, "No, I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to see it." So
And
he
I
went.
had to go to the dollar theaters to watch this because that's how long it took me to go to the movies because she refused to go see this movie.
And then it's on TV one day, or it's on like HBO or something, and he's like, "You have to watch it." And I'm just like, "That was such a good movie."
No, Kevin, I am mad at you because I watched The Departed one day and I texted you and I was like, tell me what's going on because I'm confused. And you couldn't tell me what was going on. Explain yourself.
No, it's hard to. It's a hard movie to
Describe in text.
the plot to.
no. I said, have you ever seen The Departed?
What did
Yes.
you not know what was going on? I'm just kinda
Well,
I
I was
understand.
kind of
Not-
in
oh,
it,
you're
kind of not.
She was flipping between
First
one
of all,
movie and another.
and there's nothing more annoying.
Yet
than you're
another
like,
3.5 hour movie. Can you please be concise?
It's
Be a
only
little
3.5
more
hours when you
succinct.
watch
but
it.
when you're like, hey, I really want you to watch
I
this
think
movie,
every
and
minute
then
of
you
it
watch
was
someone watching the
spectacular.
movie, and they're doing like they're looking at their phone. They
I
get
think
up and they go eat. And they come back, and then they're like, I don't get it. And you're like,
Okay,
you want to just.
I was doing other
Yeah.
things. I was.
I've never seen The Departed.
Oh,
It's a good movie.
it is a good movie.
Yeah.
So I won't discuss
But don't
the
ask
ending.
him because he won't be able. If you ever get
If I
lost,
watch a movie, I
he
can
won't be
pretty
able to
much-
explain it
I'll
to you.
keep
he'll
up with
pay-
it.
He'll pay attention.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
think you were paying attention just fine, Jesse. And it
Okay,
was my fault not
I wasn't.
explaining it.
I wasn't.
Over a text.
No,
when
but I
you
was
weren't
asking you, and
watching the
I said,
movie.
I texted you specifically and said, "Why is this person doing this and this?" And you didn't give me a functional answer that I wanted. You said, "I don't know, I don't remember." If this
That
is a
doesn't
movie you
sound
love so much,
it's really
I'm saying.
quotable too. Mark and Mark and
Yeah, Marky Mark and Alec Baldwin.
and Alec Baldwin
There's
are
just- it's- yeah.
spectacular. Yeah.
They've got some great ones.
you're helping him change the subject.
Oh,
I'm not gonna be put on the firing.
Do you remember
line
this?
here.
I mean, this was a long time ago.
It was a long time. This is when I was traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
We
I
weren't
think-
married yet.
No, I think I was in San Francisco when I remember this very well.
So
Yeah,
did
okay.
you just like text like, hey, what's going on with this
Yeah.
movie that you're not watching?
Yeah.
That I'm not. That I'm.
I
Just,
said I got in
Yes.
halfway through this, and please
I
tell me
got
what's going
it.
on.
And more than
What's wrong with
likely,
that?
while I was at the bar, it was the same people where
It was
I met
like
the,
2 in
where
the
I met the
afternoon. Why
lawyer
not?
that was helping us with the crossword puzzle.
so those are
There we go.
my didn't make it.
Doug, any didn't make it
of
you
course,
want to mention?
Of course. My Star Wars is Revenge of the Sith.
That one didn't make it.
I thought you were
love-
going to say Revenge of the Nerds.
No,
Star
I
Wars
love-
Revenge of
I
the
love
Nerds.
I could watch Revenge of the Sith.
I don't think I've
I
ever.
put it like this. I could watch the last half of Revenge of the Sith almost. If it's on, I will stop and watch
Duel
it.
of the Fates.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You were
I
the
can't remember.
chosen
I
one.
can't remember anything about that movie. I saw it one time, and
you
I
were
walked
supposed to
away.
bring balance to the force.
Not leave it in darkness.
The high ground. She dies
I
from.
hate you.
I
When she
didn't,
died-
I
when she
didn't
died
see
from
Revenge of the
sadness.
Sith
Sadness.
at all.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sadness.
Um.
By the way, your explanation of why she dies
is better. Isn't
is
it?
better.
I know.
Yes.
The Emperor siphons,
Yeah, siphons her
her force
po-
energy
To keep him
feed
alive.
into-
Yeah.
I know that is better.
And with that, I was just like,
I can't
mm,
claim that. That's a Reddit something or other. I can't claim
Okay.
that, but
Claim
better.
it. Claim it. No. Who
Own
else?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Trademark.
makes it so much
Trademark
better.
Theory by Kevin Waits.
done, fine, absorbed.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's one of those movies. I was like one of the first, like when I was 18, 19. It was one of the first movies where I like really appreciated a movie.
I saw that at your
yeah,
house.
sure. It's a great movie.
We had Quentin Tarantino movie night.
I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, so Interstellar, Inception, both did not make my list, but they are movies that if they come on, I will stop and watch. And those are marathons.
I've
usually.
never seen Interstellar all the way through. I wanted to see it.
I thought that was
but
Matthew
we never saw
McConaughey.
it.
It is.
Christopher
Interstellar
Nolan
is.
yeah.
directed it.
Christopher Nolan directed
gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
Yeah,
But Inception, hell yeah.
and for like a newer movie, The Arrival. I don't know if you ever saw that with Amy Adams.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's a
That was
great
good.
sci-fi movie. It really is.
Oh man, it was so good. It should have won Best Picture. I thought.
It was
I'm
really
a
well done.
big-
Yeah.
It was so sad too. It's like if you
Sad?
knew what was going to happen, would you still do it? And it's
Right.
just like, oh,
I'm a big Denis Villeneuve fan.
Villeneuve.
Prisoners, but that's another movie. That's you don't even want to watch that more than
That
once.
one's hard. That one's hard to watch.
But yeah, those are. Oh, Godfather 1. You know, that didn't make my list, and Kevin's already like groaning over here.
It's not that I'm groaning.
But you're groaning.
I'm not surprised
Penguin
that it doesn't
Kevin
make your
did-
list.
We must say that Penguin Kevin did watch
I did.
Godfather.
I did, and
Yeah.
I've almost made it all the way through the second one.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's almost done.
Almost.
Yeah.
Did
It's
you watch
been
it in like batches?
6 weeks.
Yeah, I can't take the whole thing. I mean, it's on A&E, so I mean, it's got commercials.
Yeah.
That makes it like 20 times longer.
So good.
And then they have the version where they do like chronologically with.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
thanks.
That's kind of.
It's
That was
so
kind of
good.
cool how they did that.
But those are the movies.
I like the idea of that. I like the idea of them taking a movie and recounting it, and I like the idea of that.
But those are my movies that did not make my list. It's pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
To like, I don't have like a big run. Oh, if I was going to do a comedy, it'd be The Other Guys.
That's actually a
Marky
very
Mark and Will
funny.
Ferrell. That is a funny. And what was the app that he makes? The face.
The face back.
Face
The
back.
face back.
Face
Yeah,
back.
we saw the movie in the theater and we hated it. We hated this movie.
We didn't find it funny.
And
Did we walk out? We walked
well,
out
no,
of that.
we stayed through the whole thing. We did not find it funny. We did not laugh one bit. And then I watched it on, and I was like, "How did we not find this funny?" And it's just funnier every time I watch it.
I had never heard of the film. I discovered that when the other guys with the, I think my sister was watching it on TV, and I ended up at her house watching it, and it just made me laugh out loud. It was good.
I will say this about Will Ferrell movies. I almost always have to watch his movies once, just so that I could see like how, because they're dumb. They're so dumb. And then
Yeah,
I just absorb it and I accept it for what it is. And the second time I watch it, I'll find the humor. But almost all of
Good
his
theory.
movies have been that way.
The whole Michael Keaton.
Oh,
Uh,
the
What about,
TLC.
what about
TLC?
Holmes and
TLC?
Watson?
I've never seen it.
That was on
I don't
my
plan
most-
on seeing that.
Hated list that made the most hated list.
Well, maybe if you watch it again,
No,
it'll be
No.
okay.
Hey, watch.
Yeah.
It's gonna make
it's
it to
no
TV,
Step
and it'll
Brothers.
get on his
it's no
favorite
grow on
Ricky
you,
Bobby.
Dog.
It's
They grow
no,
on you.
It's no
like,
Anchorman.
like a fungus.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost can't wait to watch that movie now, just because I know Doug hates it.
I know.
I feel
And you're
like
going to wind
I
up
feel like I'm
loving
gonna
it.
be- I
You're going to be
know.
like, this is spectacular. It's a work of art.
So these
Maybe
movies,
not.
these movies that we love, I again, Andy, I think you hit the nail on the head. You're 3 for 3, for episode 1, kind of debrief of the genre. A lot of my movies I chose for on this list come to me from nostalgic factor. Like Weird Science, it's not a good movie,
Weird Science.
but it's a fucking awesome movie because I remember me and my brothers talking about and quoting that movie, and
Right.
Yeah. I
think it's
bought that
arguably
VHS
it's not
for my
I don't-
brother for
weird.
Christmas.
Weird Science is not a guilty pleasure. That is it's a solid movie.
It's a
good
solid movie. It's not a great comedy.
It's not
by
going to
any
win
means,
Academy
you know?
Awards, but
Exactly.
So is this on your list? This is
It's on my alternates.
Alternates, okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to kind of segue into what some of ours are on our lists, right?
Sure.
yeah.
And then we can go around.
Let's
and
talk about
from
our
that
list.
list. We'll choose our must watches at the end, right?
Mhm.
So we'll
Sure.
give our
Yeah.
list, and then at the end we'll give our must watches. Sound good?
Sure.
Yes.
So on my list, I mentioned earlier that I had a Star Wars movie on my list, and this kind of is the same from the same fashion as my mentality on the Indiana Jones, and it's Empire Strikes Back. I had a hard time between Indiana Jones, Raiders, and Temple, because Temple of Doom is the dark one. It's the grittier one. You can't really say, you can say Indiana Jones wins, but there's lots of loss that goes along with it too. Empire Strikes Back is the same way for me. It's the dark side winning. It's Vader. It's clasping his hand, clasping his fists, and it's great. It's the whole you lose Han Solo, you lose Luke loses his hand, and everything is lost, and it sets it up for such a good like ending to the trilogy where everybody comes back. Right?
Mhm.
You get that. It's like, instead of having a full movie in 1, 2, 3 acts, you get the trilogy as act 1, 2, and 3. And I love
Yep.
that idea. And act 2 is where all that conflict happens, and you get a lot of the heroes are down and out. And I love that.
Yep.
I love that. So that was number 1 on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest one to put down there, Empire Strikes Back. Another one that was super easy to put on there was Jaws. Love that
Yeah.
movie. Well, I will
It's a good movie.
hands down watch it every single time it's on. No
Yeah.
matter what, it will trump anything other than Empire Strikes Back.
Never seen it.
Never.
Oh.
my
Man,
god. Oh my god. This
Yeah.
I think I may have just changed.
Oh
John.
no!
Oh my god.
Don't let me influence you.
Jaws is so it's
But I've
good.
never seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
The-
know
It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
you're
I
going to
mean,
need a bigger boat. Comes from that. But
Yes.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into that. I mean, Robert Shaw's the
Oh, you
Indianapolis speech.
I love
Yeah.
Robert Shaw.
The whole dynamic between Robert Shaw and
Quint
uh,
Hooper.
Dreyfus.
Well,
Richard Dreyfus And then when
But
you
his
when
character is Hooper.
Hooper.
You just reminded me that Force 10 from Navarone almost made my list because of
Yeah,
Robert Shaw. But anyway, go
man,
ahead.
It's such a good movie, and another one that made my Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is where it started to get a little difficult for me.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is a great movie.
It's awesome. I love it.
There's very little, if any, like once the movie starts it carries you to the end without very little. There's one slight exposition scene after where the two guys come in and talk to him after the class.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's
top, man.
Straight.
Exactly. So that was no, I wouldn't say an easy pick. The last two I really had trouble with. So I'll just A Few Good Men.
I love.
So good.
Oh my God. The writing, just the
acting.
We saw the play version, and it's
That's what
Did
I
y'all
was
see
going
that?
to bring that up. We went to see the play
Oh,
when it was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was good. They did a really good job.
so minimal.
Oh, yes, it was so minimal. It was one stage.
Yeah.
It was,
It's all words.
and it was really good, and it's all words, and it's still engaging.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it was really great. But I will say, at the very end, the court scene,
Mhm.
you get to see just how much an actor can really sell
Oh, yeah.
a scene.
That's true.
Because the actors in the play did a fantastic
Yeah.
job. I was engaged. I was not bored. Everything was great, and it was all dialogue.
Right.
With
Yeah.
very little like stage
set
set.
pieces,
There's no,
yeah.
and it was great, but it wasn't Jack Nicholson.
It wasn't what.
It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. Like, what? And really, Jack Nicholson. He
Everybody did a good job.
sold
Every
it.
single person in that movie did a amazing job for what their job was, from Kevin Pollak
Yeah.
all the way up to Jack Nicholson.
Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And
I
then- and then-
strenuously object.
I
sir.
strenuously.
strenuous.
They made mistakes.
I strenuously object.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone was flawed in a way. Oh.
Exactly, because you're right. The characters were flawed. The story was flawed.
And that was Aaron Sorkin.
yeah.
And
It was
amazing.
I thought that was a great movie. And then my last one, I had to put this one on here just because this movie makes me laugh every time I see it, and it's Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
And I don't
You
know.
don't want none of this.
I
Walk
don't
Hard.
think I've seen Walk Hard.
Dude, I wrote this movie off. I wrote this movie off until this came out. I was on the road. I was traveling a bunch, and I was with my traveling partner, Brett. Hey, shout out.
Hey, Brett,
Yeah, head snack.
check it out.
Exactly. And we had a room together. We had free movies. We were Marriott members. We had free movies, and that was one of the movies. So we were like, let's just throw this on and just pass out to this movie. We had a night of debauchery and pass out to this movie. I had to stay awake and watch the whole movie because I was giggling and laughing the whole time. And I thought maybe it's because I've had a good night that night, whatever, a few drinks.
Okay,
No, it wasn't.
you're
I
not.
watched it again and I laughed just as hard.
You're not going to get away from this conversation without doing your impression of the Beatles. So go
That's one of my favorite scenes. Is they go, one of the
drop
great things
acid
about,
with the Beatles.
yeah, we go to drop acid with the Beatles, and like they when the Beatles are in India, it's like there's some rift in the Beatles, and Dewey makes this commentary. Wow, sounds like there's some rift in the Beatles, and the Beatles are played by Jack Black and Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd is John, and he says, I've got a brand new mantra. Paul's a big fat cunt. And Jack Black as Paul, he says, I don't know why you have to be so dark when I'm so impish and whimsical. Because I'm the leader of the Beatles.
That's the only scene. I'm like, if you're watching it, or if you find it on TV and you're watching it, I'm like, just tell me when the Beatles. Tell me when the
If this ends
Beatles.
up being my
Because I
must-watch,
just want to see that.
I will send each of you the extended version of
I'm
it with
the leader
with
of the
about 30 minutes more jokes, and it's great.
Wow.
It's fucking awesome. And if you really count, if you can really notice it, you can count like about 40 different musicians that he models himself after for the whole movie. It's great. Love it. hands down.
That's your 5.
That's my
Yeah,
5.
that was my-
All
okay, so just
5,
run 'em down
Empire
again.
Strikes Back, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story, Jaws, A Few Good Men, and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Cool.
Okay.
One of those.
I think
will be
that's a
my
solid
must
list.
pick. Thank you, Angie.
Oh, we're gonna go across.
Yeah, we're
we're
doing
gonna go
this.
across.
Exactly.
I feel like mine are gonna be.
It's your favorite movies.
Okay.
Remember that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's personal.
Yeah.
For nostalgia's sake, The Labyrinth.
I like Labyrinth.
I
It's good.
remember we were kids. We went to rent movies, and there was a specific movie my brothers and I wanted, and they were out. And my mom said, "Oh well, we'll watch this movie." And we're
Mhm.
like, "No, I don't want to watch that." She's like, "Too bad. That's what you're getting."
Hmm.
So we went home and we laughed and we loved it. And it's one of those like my brothers and I. It's fun
Yeah.
memories from my brothers.
Yeah,
and I,
absolutely.
Yeah.
you know. So
And that's what weird science is to me.
the Labyrinth. Edge of Tomorrow actually made my list.
Oh wow, cool.
Because it was so unexpectedly good. like,
it is. It's
I-
a great movie.
I enjoy Tom Cruise movies. You know,
What?
say what you say what you will about him.
Vanilla Sky.
Can I remind you of a little movie called Vanilla Sky?
Which is why I went to see Vanilla Sky, because I like him. I like his acting. I like his movies, even when they're quirky and just throwaway movies like Night and Day with Cameron Diaz. Another Cameron Diaz movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cute movie. I enjoyed it. But even going into it thinking it's probably going to be a pretty good movie, it was a great movie to me.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. You know, I like the Groundhog Day sequences.
Yeah.
I like the fights. I like the little suits that they wear, the little mechanical
Yeah.
robot suits that they wear. Everything about it was great. I like Emily Blunt.
Yeah. She's fantastic.
American
So-
Treasure.
American Treasure, Emily Blunt. Yes. And I was just blown away by the movie. Shawshank Redemption is one of those movies that if it's on television,
Shawshank.
and he hates whenever we're flipping the channels and he sees that it's on there, he's just like, oh, because I'm going to stop and I'm going to watch at least some of it.
It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Oh.
Everybody loves it.
It's so
I love it.
good.
I just don't want to see it.
I'm
again.
not. I don't think I'm as extreme as these two over here on my right, but it's okay, Phil.
It
Which
always
which
reminds
is
me of the robot
me
chicken.
and Angie.
You're
Remember the
watching
robot chicken? The Shawshank robot
With
chicken
the-
with
Oh,
Batman.
Jesus.
It's
Batman and the Joker.
Yeah.
We won't get into it here.
Do you remember that Family Guy? They did a spoof of Shawshank Redemption.
I don't remember
Oh, they
that.
did.
Yes.
They did. Yes.
Thank you. You
Yes.
remember? And then so Peter's the
He's
Tim
walking
Robbins
to
character. That just the only thing his voiceover, the
Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman voiceover
Yeah.
is like when he's going through the sewer, and he goes, "Why they picked the day after
Burrito day.
burrito night?
Mexican taco
I'll
night.
never understand." He goes, "He had to swim through 500 yards. Why they picked the day
The day after taco
enchilada
day."
night."
That's essentially what the robot chicken is, except with more graphic sound effects.
And it's the Joker.
It's the Joker shitting down the hole.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Casablanca.
Nice.
Love.
It's
Yes.
a beautiful film.
It really
It's
is.
got something for everybody.
It's beautiful. It's
I don't know if I've ever watched it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Go
wow.
out and get it right away.
It's probably a great movie though.
It's a
Well,
classic.
No,
I
it
mean,
really is.
It's Humphrey Bogart.
I know a lot of people are telling you, "Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great movie," but
It's
this time
spies,
it's true.
War, it's
Yes.
love.
It's fantastic, and
It's heartbreak.
And there's so
It
many,
is.
and there's so
Yeah.
many quotes that are in the what do you guys call it? Zeitgeist.
Vernacular.
Right.
The zeitgeist and the vernacular that have been used and reused. And as you're watching the movie, you're like, "Oh, this is where it comes from."
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
you grow up hearing, I knew it was a good movie, and I didn't watch it until I was like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Wow, that is that is."
Well, I think that's when most people, once you reach a certain age, no one wants to see
You can appreciate
certain
it.
movies when you're a kid.
Mhm.
Then you get to a certain age, and you're like, you're hearing about all these things. When movies aren't just things to entertain you, movies are art. They kind of go from one field to another. They're only here to entertain me, and then they become art. At least you're willing to look at them as art.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing in my early 20s when I was living on my own. and I had the Turner Classic Movie Channel, and I started watching it. Not just all day long, but when I've heard about this. It's coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it and see what happens. And I've been in love, for the most part, with movies like that ever since I got really hung up on the top 100 AFI lists, those
Right.
type of lists, and wanted to go through those movies and watch them for myself. And I agree with you 100%.
It's a beautiful film.
By far the oldest movie that we've talked
It is.
about on the podcast.
1942.
And on the
It really was a toss up for me between A Man on Fire and The Dark Knight.
Man on Fire is such a good movie.
Man on Fire will be my name. We went to see a movie, just a movie, and it was playing, and we knew it was Denzel, and we're just like, let's go watch it. It's Denzel. And it's a long movie, and it's slow at the beginning, and there's a lot of build up, and then
Because the first half is
Mhm.
character development.
character development.
And I mean, it is like deep character development. And
I've
you're
never
just-
seen
Yeah.
it.
Oh, my
Oh.
gosh, it's such a good movie.
And then it's in
It is
Mexico.
It is a
and
ride.
It is
of a
a
movie.
ride. And
I've heard it's great. I just haven't had.
and
opportunity.
it's a remake from like
Yeah.
like a 1970s.
I've never seen the
I've
original.
never seen the original. I didn't even realize it was a remake until years later. Yeah, no, but I didn't know what I was getting into, and it was a wild ride. It took you, and at the end, it's bittersweet.
Oh,
It's
God.
it's bittersweet because you get like a happy, but then you also get a sad.
Yeah.
So those are my top 5:
So run them down again?
Labyrinth, Casablanca, Edge of Tomorrow, Man on Fire, Shawshank.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's a good list.
Solid.
Who goes next?
me and Angie share.
All 5 movies.
Yes,
No, Labyrinth is not going to be. on.
No.
it will not.
It will not.
You don't like Labyrinth?
You don't like
No,
the power of the
She
babe?
does not.
No.
Oh,
What
wow.
babe?
The Goblin King Jared.
Oh,
Oh wow.
mm.
So heartless.
Well,
Spandex.
Go ahead. No,
let's
don't-
okay,
let's not get sidetracked.
let's not.
all right. Sorry, I was gonna go somewhere. Thanks for reeling me back in.
It's like,
Shawshank. Was
Oh,
on
is it
there.
really?
Yes,
Yay.
yes, we share Shawshank, and the rest of them. Okay, well, I actually have an older movie too. 12 Angry Men. Has anyone seen 12 Angry Men?
I have. I was
And
so
that one's been,
surprised
that's
to see
one
that.
that's been remade a few times too, hasn't
Yeah.
it?
It was made.
That's
I
been
know of one remake with
a
Jack
contemporary.
Lemmon.
Well, and there's
Well,
a contemporary one with.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jack
Steve-
Lemmon is
Steven
the one I
Weber.
was thinking of. It's not the
No,
Jack Lemmon
this
version.
is the 1957
it's black
Henry
and white,
Fonda.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this Henry?
That's the
Fonda?
one I've
Yeah.
seen. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. My brother
I
has
think
it.
I've seen the Jack
and
Lemmon one
he
too.
really liked it. He said it was really good.
Yeah.
If you
There's even a newer one with Steven Weber, like a color.
Oh, really?
Yeah, color, more recent.
Well,
I
the Jack
think.
Lemmon
I
one
don't-
was
Don't
was in
quote
color.
me on that, but I'm almost positive more. Might not be Steven Weber,
Steve
but
from Wings.
from Wings fame.
Well,
Steven
he was
Weber.
also because he was in The Shining. He
Mhm.
was
the remake of The Shining.
Yes.
Yep.
The shitting.
The shitting. The shitting. You want to get sued?
So for anybody out there who likes a good underdog story and just 12 Angry Men, go see it. I guess I'll go next on my list with When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
It's probably
Great
one,
movie.
for the longest time. It was one like in my mind. It was like that's like the greatest romantic
That
comedy
is
of
the
all
rom-com.
time. For a long time.
To me, that is the rom com.
The only thing I remember about this movie is that my mom watched it, and then there was the "I'll have what she's having" scene.
Yeah.
Which was all Billy Crystal. That was his. He said, "Hey, I have an idea." He told Rob Reiner, "I have an idea."
Mhm.
And it's the little things like that. What do I need to say? It is the achievement for romantic comedies for a reason. It's we all strive for. Now,
It I think that movie really shows the growth of Billy Crystal's character.
yeah.
That he's got the most.
And this
growth.
wasn't just some one-off. This is Nora Ephron. Nora Ephron wrote it, but this was a collaboration between Nora Ephron and Rob Reiner. This wasn't just like this got written and it was all just great from the beginning. They worked together. I think he had an idea. I can't really remember, but this wasn't just like some spit out overnight and it was great. There was a lot of work put into this movie, and Billy Crystal had a lot to do with some of the comedy that we all appreciate nowadays, like especially that scene that I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
Yeah, the birdcage made my.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's such a good movie.
That movie. Oh, well, that was
Like,
another
why are
one
you
that we
scared of my
saw. We saw La
Ecuadorianness?
Cage aux Folles.
Yes,
We've seen La
yeah,
Cage aux
the play
Folles.
we saw
Yeah.
La Cage aux Folles. We watched the original movie too.
Yeah.
In French, en français. Yeah, the original 70. It was
Yeah,
original
60s, 70s.
70s. It's in French.
Robin
seen it.
Williams.
I mean,
It's
I
good.
mean, it's Robin Williams.
It's Robin
but- well,
Williams.
he
at
hasn't-
his kind of, and
Just
then
because-
I'll be
partner
honest.
with Nathan Lane. I mean,
Oh
that's
my God, it was
such a
spectacular.
great duo to work.
And it was
off of.
Mike
It
Nichols, I
was.
think, directed.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria
Oh
is
my God.
hilarious.
Yeah.
When there were shoes, I fall down. But there is no need.
Guatemalanese.
Ah,
That's what he says. Why are you scared of my
heat.
Guatemalanese?
The OG Agador Spartacus.
Exactly.
I'm shocked at how much me and Andy are just like,
Yeah.
that's a movie.
It's a good
Really?
Really? It's so funny.
It is
This
so
movie,
good.
this movie draws me in every
Robin-
single time.
So, hot take. I'm just not a huge Robin Williams fan. It's a little much for me. His whole act, his
His
whole,
whole brand of comedy, like the whole improv.
yeah, like it was dialed back in like Mrs. Doubtfire because it had to be. But
What,
that
really?
whole just going crazy, and I guess to Andy's like number one movie that was very controversial of not liking Aladdin. I mean, Aladdin was like him times 1,000, but it's like that in the Birdcage where it's just like boom,
But
boom,
I
boom,
thought
boom.
so. I didn't think he was.
I didn't
thought
think
he
he.
was
So
very
I thought he
restrained.
was
I
more
think
the
he
straight
was,
guy.
Yeah.
He was a straight guy in.
But
He does a good
And Nathan
job.
Lane
He does
was.
a little, but it's just,
But in movie terms, he's the straight
it
guy
was-
to
it
Nathan
was-
Lane.
I saw the movie. I don't have
I
a problem with
saw
it.
it.
It was
It
enjoyable.
exists.
It was enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never thought, "Ooh, man, I want to watch the Birdcage again."
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
I love
that's
so
so
many aspects of this movie.
Wow.
And
while we were making these lists, I kept saying, I was like, God, I gotta watch the Birdcage.
I know, and it's on Netflix right now. Everyone
Yeah.
go out and watch
Wow.
No, man.
It-
Yeah,
it's
I'm
one
not-
of those
I
movies for
see
me that is
Birdcage, and I'd
so
be like,
funny.
"Oh, yeah, there's a movie. There's
The
Birdcage."
cluelessness of Gene
fat
Hackman's
parents,
character
yes.
and Diane Wiest. Come on, dude, that is so funny.
it. Is that an egg?
I don't mind that you guys like
Yes,
it. I
they
just
are
don't.
green.
Well, I hope you don't
Boy.
mind that we like it.
And this is why we do these lists, because we are a spectrum.
Exactly. It's like a rainbow, right?
It's like a rainbow.
Roy
We're
G.
big.
Biv,
We're
right?
big.
Right, G. Biv, yeah.
Okay.
Y'all
great.
said it better than I did. And the last on my list is, I know everyone's going to agree with me on this, The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Great movie.
Angie.
To be fair, I don't do horror films, and so I have an unfair bias against it.
But you
Because-
have seen it.
And here's the thing, I think I have. Because I remember seeing the scene that got made fun of so much in the
Scary
the
movie?
spoof movies,
Yeah, the
where like the
snotty
like
bubble.
faucet
Oh,
opens up
that's
and
so
then
stupid.
and so I'm trying to think, did I see the movie or am I remembering the spoofs of the movie,
which is quite possible.
which is quite
Because there
possible.
was plenty.
Because I don't do scary movies, and in my mind I think I've seen it. But the more I think about it, the more I think maybe I'm remembering all the people making fun of it. And that's why I think I saw it.
Again, very possible.
I love.
I just
Love
don't.
I love The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Andy.
Of all these
Well,
these movies you could pick for 5
founded a
movies on your
genre.
list.
It founded a genre, the found footage genre.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
well, I'm.
it's her favorite. She
her-
loves it.
It's her taste.
Yeah, no, it is her taste. I just
You know,
Jesse, who's next? Was that
Who-
your 5? So give
that
us-
was
Yeah,
5.
run
Yeah.
down your 5 one more time.
12 Angry Men, When Harry Met Sally, Shawshank Redemption, The Birdcage, and finally The Blair Witch Project.
Wonderful. Thank you. Who's next?
Andy.
all right. We'll let Doug be the anchor. You know, and sitting here listening to the
Procrastinating
list,
even
I
further.
got to tell you, I have movies like jumping in my head now. Like I'm mad at myself that I didn't even consider like Young Frankenstein hit my head. And I was like,
I know, right?
How-
That's what I'm talking about. Like that time where I finished my list and now
Peter Boyle came
oh my
up,
God.
is what happened.
It's
right?
what happened, yeah. And then
Never
I was
seen
like,
it.
oh my god, I didn't even consider Young Frankenstein.
I know.
Never
I'm
seen
so
it.
disappointed that some of these didn't even make my alternate
There's like
list.
2 or 3 of them that have hit me now, and I just
Yeah.
I gotta let it
I
go.
hear you.
Mhm.
So the first one on my list, and this would, I guess, I would say this would be like my Blair Witch Project, in that I could definitely see how someone else would might not think that it's a great film, but Evil Dead 2, it's a cult classic. It has a huge following since it came out. If you knew me in college, I carried we used to have VHS tapes you could hoard, and I had it had come on TV, and I realized what it was, and I shoved the tape in, and I missed about the first 15 minutes of it. But I carried that tape around me with college, and if you were a friend of mine, we would put it in, and I would describe the first 15 minutes of the movie for you, and then I'd hit play, and I'd make you watch it with me. But yeah, so
While you were strapped to a chair.
yeah, while you were strapped to a chair. Well, anyway, more about so Evil Dead 2, and then my second one, Donnie Darko. It is a cult classic as well, I would say. Jake Gyllenhaal. The first time you see it, for me, it's just so interesting and strange, and I'm not sure, what genre you're in. And then you research it. If there's like a whole online community, there's a whole backstory. Somebody actually wrote the rules of time travel down for it. I don't want to give it, I guess, too much away, but it's a great one. And then I went V for Vendetta.
Spectacular movie.
Oh, I love that film.
So good.
I've never seen that.
I will sit and watch
I know.
it every
I've
time
never
it
seen
comes
it.
What
on.
is wrong with you? Who are you? Who invited this guy?
Yeah,
We
it's-
buy a house.
We need to do a Kevin. We need to do a Kevin. Next season is going to be movies Kevin's never seen.
Yeah.
that movie is so good. It makes up for Natalie Portman's really bad accent.
Yeah, but she. I don't know. I don't even.
You don't-
She
you don't-
doesn't
you don't-
bother me.
I don't
any.
even
I don't
notice
notice her. I know that they went through different lead actors for it because when they decided to, it's the guys who did The Matrix,
Brothers.
right?
Farrelly Brothers.
No.
Farrelly sisters.
I'm
They
not sure.
both
Yeah,
had-
one of,
Is it Farrelly?
They both had
Well,
16.
Is that right?
But
Regardless.
it's not the front. But Hugo Weaving is
it's like
spectacular.
Wigginow. It's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Wiganowski.
Absolutely.
Is it the
But Hugo
Wachowski
Weaving-
brothers?
Wachowski,
yes,
brothers,
yes.
Yeah, the Wachowskis.
Wachowskis, yeah.
Hugo Weaving was not the original choice for the role, but the other people that they looked at wouldn't go with the director's choice, which is we're never going to see your face.
Mhm.
And so when Hugo Weaving, they brought him in. I mean, I think he's fantastic.
He is
in it. He does such a
spectacular.
great job of
He's
it, and
so good.
you do not need to see his face
Mm-mm.
for him to have such a stellar
just a good actor.
performance.
He
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Kingsman: The Secret Service, the first Kingsman movie.
Love it.
I thought it just came on TV one day, and I sat through it, and I was like, "Holy cow, that movie's good!"
Yeah,
Especially
totally.
once
on
you get
board.
to that Freebird scene with the fight in the church, and you're like, "Wow!" You get all the way to the end.
Oh, right.
It is like it's such a great spy genre action
Yeah.
film that does everything that you haven't really gotten a great spy film recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole Samuel L. Jackson doesn't like the blood thing. That
Yeah.
whole thing, that whole bit through the movie gets me every
Yeah,
time.
his villain character in that
Yeah.
is such a strange. And then I'll finish it with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which written by the same guy who did written and directed by the same guy who wrote Lethal Weapon. So you get some of that a lot of buddy comedy in it. I like this, but I like the story, and it's the vehicle that brought back Robert Downey Jr. Yeah,
Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Val Kilmer's in it. Val Kilmer didn't have as good a comeback, I don't think, as Robert Downey Jr.
He was more going the other way than Robert.
He was on his way
Yeah,
out.
yeah, a little bit. I think he's made a couple movies since.
In the
That
snowman.
snowman.
Yes, he was in the Snowman.
Jesse's favorite, the
Very,
snowman.
very,
I hate.
very minimally.
Yeah.
Made it on the
He
movies
is
I
in it.
hate.
Yeah, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, it cracks me up, and it's just such a great story, and it's a fun ride, and I'll watch it every time it's on. So that's my 5. So my 5 are Evil Dead 2, Donnie Darko, V for Vendetta, Kingsman: The Secret Service, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That's my 5.
Right on.
Right.
That just
All right,
leaves
Dud,
Dougie
knock it out
Doug.
of the park.
All right, so my 5 are, the first one is Godfather 2, which I think is superior Godfather. The whole plot with Hyman Roth, his brother betraying him, the divorce with Kate. I mean, it's fantastic drama. I mean, it came on the other day, and I sat there and watched like the half. I'll watch YouTube videos of it just to watch the whole, this is the business we've chosen. You know, I mean, it's probably one of the more quotable movies.
I was going to ask you. So, how do you feel about Godfather 3?
It's
It
kind
doesn't exist.
No, it's kind of grown on
It doesn't
me.
exist.
Are they making a Godfather 3?
Yeah. It's kind of grown on me. I've watched it.
Really?
I've watched it later. It's
It's grown.
it's a very convoluted plot, so but I've come to enjoy.
I'm just wondering who someone you revere so much 1 and 2, which is a lot of people
3
do.
is nowhere near like as good of a movie as the first 2.
I understand that. I'm just wondering what your gut reaction would be.
And then 2 also has the whole Robert De Niro with
Right.
the dad, like, and so it kind of mirrors like how they both came up. It's almost 2 movies in one,
Right.
as Kevin would probably tell you because it's so long.
27 hours.
Comes in at a brief 27 hours.
So the movie that kind of got bumped up my list, that once I started thinking about it, was a movie that I really enjoy, was Heat with
De Niro,
Pacino.
Al Pacino.
And
God, I wish I would have put that on my list. Damn.
I'm a big Michael Mann fan. I love Michael Mann movies. And
That
this
movie-
is like the quintessential bank robber movie.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's a huge ensemble of a cast.
Yeah.
And then it's just such a good movie.
It was on recently.
Yeah.
And
Did
he
you
just
remem-
sat there and watched.
Do you remember how that movie inspired real life with the
guys
Yeah.
actually did it when
I don't want to say
the
too much about
shootout.
it if this becomes your must
But the
watch.
shootout
Oh my
is
gosh.
probably one of the greatest shootouts. And I remember
It's a continuous shot, right?
no,
Don't they have a continuous shot somewhere in there?
They're cuts.
They're
But
cuts?
That
Okay.
cuts. But it feels like it though. It feels like that's why I think that's really good. It feels like it.
And so one of the reasons it stands out really for me is I remember I saw this in the theater. And so right before the shootout happens, right at the end, Val Kilmer was like the last one to walk out. And he walks out and he looks over and he sees
the bus go
and
by.
He sees the bus go by and he picks the gun up and the movie froze and the film melted. And so
Oh, wow.
it was
Wow.
that's always sticks out at me like every time. It's like probably the most climactic part of the whole
Right?
movie. Like
Oh
that
my
happened.
gosh.
And so
Didn't
but-
that happen to you at Fifth Sense? Sixth Sense too?
The Sixth Sense.
fifth-
Oh, there was
the
like a
fifth
car.
sense.
A car hit like a electric pole and like
That
killed the
happened to me
power.
during Herbie the Love Bug.
Okay.
Oh, no, when we were watching the Kingsman service, there was a fire in the theater.
Yeah.
And we got and we
We-
had to
we-
leave
yep.
and we didn't
Oh,
get to see
wow.
the end of it
Oh
until
man.
And
Months
that's right.
later.
Yeah, we just had to rent it to see the end of the
Oh
movie.
wow.
still liked it though. It was great.
Yeah.
The Prestige of my probably my favorite Christopher
I
Nolan
watched
movie.
that again recently. I didn't like that at first.
We
and I watched it again. And
It's
it was phenomenal.
It was when
Spectacular.
that was the movies when I realized, and it's happened in Interstellar and it's happened in Inception, where I realized I was sitting on the edge of my seat.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like the whole monster,
Monster trucks.
You pay for the whole seat, but you only use the edge.
You're gonna pay the seat. Just use the edge.
But I realized that was when I realized, and I mean, even if you figure out like the movie, I figured out almost towards the end of like what was going on, but it was still such a good ending. It was still, and just the whole obsession, about how like it becomes over the wife, it starts over the wife, but then in the end, has nothing to do with that anymore, and it's just about those two's obsession. Man, it's such a good
Yeah.
movie. It's oh man.
It is good.
The next movie is Children of Men. I don't know if
Have you seen
it's
Yes, I have
I've
seen
never
it.
seen it.
it's very
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen it.
it's a dystopian
I
where
watched it for that reason.
no
too.
one can have kids anymore, and it's been
Yep.
like they're on like year 20 of it and blah blah blah
Wow.
and Clive Owen is in it. It's made me appreciate Clive Owen, and what they do in this movie is they did it before Birdman is the long shots.
The one.
The
They
continuous
do
shot.
continuous shots, and they
But
do
they're-
2 massive ones that you were just it blows you away. Like I watch it just to watch those
I mean,
continuous shots.
Birdman's claim is that it's all one shot,
Right,
even
but-
though they cheat by
They
like
do
going up to the
cheat.
sky. and
Yeah,
then you'll
there's
see the
ways to
sunset,
do
and
that
they come
now
back
that
down.
you can break the shot.
But-
That's what that was gonna be my question. Is it one continuous shot
the
or is it
continuous
like
They're following
shots,
him.
and there's so much action going on that you're just like, wow, they did this, and it's one continuous shot. They don't
Wow.
like go up to a wall or something like that and then move away. They the action happens so much. Maybe I don't know.
Interesting.
It's such a good movie. It really is. And then my last movie is Gattaca.
No, great movie.
I found that it's such a strange choice for you. I mean, it's a good movie, and I
That's
enjoy
a
it, like
brainy
it.
thriller,
it just doesn't,
man.
Yeah.
It
That's
is a
Doug to the
movie
bone.
I sit and watch. She'll tell you every time it comes on, I
It's
will stop
almost-
and watch it.
Understated.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have any big flashy scenes. It's here's
But
a
throughout
story,
the whole movie.
but it's
Yeah.
so good.
But
And it's consistent throughout
the
yes,
whole
You
movie.
know, it's all about his
Anxiety
getting
and-
ahead of, even though he's, what do they call it? God
Invalid.
born. Invalid, God born. He's not
Right.
genetically engineered. Like, it's really like him and the heart, and like doesn't really matter sometimes that they're faster or stronger. It can be that like the Jose Altuve,
Right.
where
Yeah.
sometimes
Determination.
you just have the rocky determination,
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie, and the whole with the brother and all. Whoo, I love that movie.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's a great film, man. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I love it. It's beautifully shot, and
No,
it's
no,
That's
very
one of those
it is-
movies
it-
that
it
it
is-
just
color-
doesn't come on. It
Yeah.
doesn't come on like cable. And
I don't
stuff.
think it gets enough credit sometimes, and it's for what
doesn't.
it is. It's a really
Ethan
good
Hawke,
movie.
right?
Ethan Hawke,
Ethan Hawke
Jude
and
Law,
Jude Law.
American Treasure, Jude Law,
Yeah.
Uma Thurman,
So
So,
now,
well, run down your list one more time.
Gattaca, Children of Men, Godfather 2, Heat, Prestige.
Got it. So we've got all of our movies out on the
Yeah.
table. Our
All
top
right,
fives
so
out on
we
the table. Now
It's the must watch.
it's now we come down to the final.
what
this
is
the- this-
going to be this season's topics?
exactly? And this I mean, I don't know. We've been pining over this up until this point.
There are two penguins that still don't know
And we're doing-
what
and-
their must watch
And we're
is.
doing this live. Normally, like it's a little
Yeah, we
how
don't-
the sausage is made with the penguins. We normally know what we're going to choose. No one really knows what we're choosing this time.
Well,
I
you're
know.
giving you're pulling back the curtain here, but I think we'll allow that.
All right.
Just to show the weight of this, because you're absolutely right. We prep for these and we come in with our must watches. This was one that I couldn't come with a must watch into the recording.
No,
So-
we're doing our must watches live.
Yeah.
and I still don't know what my must watch is.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay, let's go.
I'll go first.
Go.
I'll jump on that sword for us.
Go.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
My must watch
Yep.
gonna be Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Is it
Yes.
really?
Walk
It is going to be Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Well, I'm excited because I get to see a movie I haven't seen yet.
John is a big fat cunt.
All right.
Jess.
Cut my
and-
brother in
And a
half.
comedy. So this will be
Yeah,
a,
that's
this will be
that's
a-
another way. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's funny as fuck.
This is going to be a.
No,
It's
I
got
love
a great
I love that.
soundtrack.
I don't think we've really tackled a comedy.
No,
yet.
we haven't.
At period.
No.
So yeah.
It's funny as fuck. It's got a great
Oh,
soundtrack.
Last American Virgin, I guess, was a comedy.
That's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy.
It was until the third act.
Oh man.
The third act just kind of that whole after school special thing. That's just no. That completely.
She laughed, as I recall, on the. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, my must watch will be Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox
All
story.
right.
Okay. It is noted.
Jess.
My must watch is The Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch.
I appreciate your enthusiasm about the movie I picked.
Andy,
Look at the intricacies.
what's your must watch?
I'm gonna go. Donnie Darko.
Cool.
Full disclosure: I've never seen Donnie Darko.
Never
Well,
seen
here
it.
you go. Good time.
Right
You
on.
haven't seen it either, Jesse?
No, I have not.
So me and Kevin are the only two who have
no,
seen
but
it.
I've been wanting to see this movie for a long time.
I fully anticipate hating this movie.
And that's the spirit.
Go, Angie.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
All right.
Angie.
I'm already writing this down, by the way. So
I'm
if
not
you
going to make you watch Labyrinth.
Oh.
You can-
I'm not going to make you watch
You can make-
Labyrinth.
She's making me
you
watch
pick-
Blair Witch
you
Project.
Just
pick
making me
whatever-
watch Blair Witch Project.
you pick whatever you want to pick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What's your favorite movie? Well, I mean,
Hmm.
Okay.
Just which one do you want to talk about the most?
I'm trying to. We'll do Edge
Got-
of Tomorrow.
Edge
Edge
of
of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to do Casablanca, but
I haven't seen Casablanca. I don't mind if you make me watch it.
You should watch it anyway.
So Edge of
Yeah, I
Tomorrow.
should.
Edge of Tomorrow.
All right, Doug, you have
right.
you have lived on Doug time
I
on this
still-
task long enough.
Still don't even know.
Do you need some music in the back?
Do, 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 do,
No, I want.
No, he wants.
What's the song? How's it go?
I tried my best.
Yeah, but I can't try my best. Wasn't good
enough. Just once. Wrap it up, B.
Prestige.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Prestige.
Prestige.
What an interesting season we're gonna have.
I love it. I actually love
So
this
so
list.
just so that we have Walk Hard, Blair Witch, Donnie Darko, Edge of Tomorrow, and Prestige.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is gonna be such a great fucking season.
Okay, wait. We have to say Blair Witch. The movie, the Blair Witch.
Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows.
No,
Yes.
Blair Witch
Electric
came out
Boogaloo.
recently, so that's
Yeah.
the Blair Witch
It's
Project.
the original.
Yes,
Blair
it's the
Witch
1999 Blair Witch
The found film footage movie of
Yeah.
all
film
time.
footage found.
Yes.
Of all time.
Exactly.
The footage film
The
found.
foot, the
Yes,
footy,
the film
the
found
footy,
footage.
The
film
found film
found.
footage film
Yes.
that
That's what
started
we're
it
talking
all.
about.
It started the
Found
whole
film
craze.
footage film found festival that found
and
footage of
bones
the
tied
film
on
festival
strings
from
hanging
February.
from trees. Little mounds of leaves.
Scared the shit out of me at the time.
I cannot wait to talk about that movie. I have a very unique experience with that movie. I can't wait
I've
to
got
talk
some
about it.
experiences I can talk about with that movie too.
All right.
All right.
Penguins.
That was
We
it.
have our we
That
so we
was-
have
was-
our must watches. So Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story, Blair Witch from the 1999
The Blair Witch Project.
The Blair Witch Project. Donnie Darko, Edge of Tomorrow, and The Prestige. So we will be back with you with our season 3, episode 2 very soon. We wanted to let you know that we're gearing up for season 4 as we speak. We're gearing up for season 4, and we wanted to include our audience in that. Here's your task. Our audience, the Dirty Penguin Army, will be selecting the topic of season 4. So just like
The
topic
movie
of season
category,
3 is movies we love, topic of season 2 was movies we hate, topic of season 1, movies set in Las Vegas, topic of season 4 will be up to you, the listener. Will it be animation movies with dogs as the lead character? Will it be movies set in space with only aliens as the characters? I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay, so this is like a contest. People can.
That's right.
What topic? What genre? What topic do you want to hear? We might pick yours.
Yep. We will, all those submissions, we will randomly select one submission from
Okay,
all of our
season 4. You pick.
worldwide listeners. Tweet us at Dirty Presents on Twitter or message us on Facebook or Instagram at The Dirty Penguin Presents. You can also visit us on our website at thedirtypenguinpresents.com. That's where you'll listen to all of our episodes, or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. That's right.
All right.
So season 4 is up to you. Tweet those responses, Facebook, Instagram, all those responses for what do you want to hear what the Dirty Penguin talk about for season 4. In the meantime, we're going to be recording the rest of season 3, which go out and watch our movies. Go out and watch our top 5 movies. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story, Blair Witch Project, Donnie Darko, Edge of Tomorrow, and The Prestige. So the first movie that we'll talk about is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next time on The Dirty Penguin Presents Movies.
Wow.